final Squid Game Season 3 trailer just dropped, and Netflix basically said, let's break everyone's hearts one more time before the season starts. This trailer is absolutely loaded with clues about who lives, who dies, and what the final game really is. We're about to break down every single frame that matters, and trust me, you're going to want to sit down for this one. Let's start with the most emotionally devastating part of this trailer: the conversation between Gi-hun and Jang Geum-ja. We see our broken protagonist chained to a bed in what looks like the main game room, and honestly, he looks like he's completely given up. But then Geum-ja delivers what might be the most important speech of the entire series. Here's exactly why this conversation is absolutely crucial. Remember that exclusive clip we got recently where Gi-hun was literally screaming at the guards, demanding to know why the frontman killed his friends but let him live, when he was begging them to kill him instead? That was Gi-hun at his absolute lowest point, suicidal, broken, and ready to give up completely. This conversation with Geum-ja pulls him back from the edge, reminding him that his guilt doesn't make him weak, it makes him human. While the bad people in this world, the VIPs, the frontman, the system itself, sleep peacefully after destroying lives, Gi-hun tortures himself over every person he couldn't save. But here's the thing, Geum-ja sees something in him that he can't see in himself. She still believes he came to save them all. This isn't just hope talking. This is someone who's witnessed his character throughout these games and knows that his compassion, even his guilt, is exactly what makes him different from everyone else who's ever played these games. Next, we finally get some insane new extended footage from the jump rope game, and it's exactly as brutal as you'd expect. We see a player getting launched into the air after tripping on the rope, and the physics of it are genuinely horrifying. The way they get catapulted suggests these ropes are moving at incredible speeds, which makes the game even more deadly than we initially thought. What's interesting is that they're not showing us who this player is. Even though it seems like he is launched too fast for us to be able to see his face, I believe that's definitely intentional. Netflix is keeping certain deaths as surprises, but the fact that they're showing us more of this game suggests it's going to be one of the most memorable elimination rounds of the season. The jump rope game also shows something very worrying about how it is played. It's not only a game of insane reflexes and reaction time, but it's a game against the clock, as we can see a countdown in the background. This means that instead of focusing solely on jumping and avoid falling to your death, you must also focus on the time you have left, adding yet another layer of difficulty to what perhaps might be the deadliest game of the series by far. Now we need to talk about what might be the most heartbreaking revelation in this trailer. We see Jang Geum-ja with her hair loose, crying and screaming as she holds her son Young-sik. We can guess that's him from the hair. Based on previous trailer footage where we theorized she might lose her son, this new footage basically confirms our worst fears. We can see her embracing Young-sik as they're both wearing those distinctive blue and red vests from the Labyrinth game. This is huge because it tells us exactly when and how this tragedy happens. As we speculated, her son dies during the Labyrinth game trying to save his mother. One key detail is that unlike the past trailer where Jang Geum-ja was in Team Red while her son was in Team Blue, this shot shows that now they're on the opposite teams. So what does this mean? Is the game made of 2 rounds? Or maybe it's just the editing team switching up the colors to confuse us. Either way, this remains a tragic sacrifice. If Young-sik is on the red team like in this trailer, it only means that he chose to protect his mom from the other hunters, perhaps even battling one of his teammates who tried to steal his mom's key, ultimately leading up to his death, making it a tragic moment created out of selfless love and pure affection amidst games that corrupt and destroy. Think about the emotional weight of this. Geum-ja entered these games entirely because of her son, their financial struggles, their relationship, the pressure of being a single mother trying to provide for him. And now she's going to lose him in the very place she came to try to secure their future. The trailer also gives us some intense action sequences involving boats and what looks like a full-scale battle at sea. We see pink guards shooting at something while they're on a boat, followed by another ship racing across the water at full speed with gunfire and lights behind it. Due to the similarity of the setting and the presence of gunfire in the second shot, we can confirm that this is all the same scene. This is almost certainly connected to Captain Park's storyline. Remember, he's been working for the frontman, but we've been wondering if he might betray the organization, or if Hwang Jun-ho might discover his true allegiance. This boat chase suggests that something major goes down between the guards and whoever's controlling that escaping vessel. There are two possibilities here. Either Captain Park finally turns against the frontman and turns to help Jun-ho due to his attachment to him over the years, searching for the island together, or Jun-ho discovers the truth about Park and takes control of the boat himself after some kind of confrontation. Either way, the fact that they're showing us this action sequence suggests it's going to be a major plot point, which will develop into Jun-ho finally arriving at the island and infiltrating it to find his brother and unfold the mystery. One of the most significant moments in the trailer shows Gi-hun dressed in an elegant suit that immediately reminds us of the final game outfit from Season 1. A guard tells him he wants to see you, and we later see Gi-hun stepping out of the elevator that leads to the frontman's room. The fancy suit confirms what we've been hoping and dreading. Gi-hun has made it to the final round. Just like in Season 1, the survivors of all the brutal elimination games get dressed up for the ultimate confrontation. This parallel to the first season is impossible to ignore, and it's clearly intentional. But here's what makes this different from Season 1. The guard saying he wants to see you suggests that before the final game begins, the frontman wants a face-to-face conversation with Gi-hun. This isn't just about explaining the rules of the final game, this is personal. Think about it from the frontman's perspective. Gi-hun isn't just another player who happened to survive the games. He's the previous winner who came back, who started a rebellion, who's been fighting against everything the games represent, and most of all, someone he shared a bond of friendship with throughout the games, even if it seemed like just an act. The frontman has been watching him this entire time, and now they're finally going to meet as the two most important figures in this deadly game. And this time, there's no mask to hide who In-ho really is. This meeting could serve multiple purposes. Maybe the frontman wants to break Gi-hun psychologically before the final game. Maybe he wants to make him an offer, join the organization, or even be the next frontman. Or maybe this is In-ho's way of acknowledging that Gi-hun has become something unprecedented in the history of these games. What's really chilling is that we see Gi-hun stepping out of that elevator looking determined but also resigned. He knows he's about to face whatever final test awaits him, and he's accepted it. This is the moment where everything he's been fighting for comes down to one last game. Finally, we get what might be our first real clue about the final game, and it's fascinating. We see a close-up of someone in dress shoes tying their laces while standing on sand. The next shot shows the same shoes stepping on a red button that turns green. The dress shoes tell us this is definitely a finalist since all final players have to wear a classy suit for the endgame. The sand suggests the final game takes place in a different environment from the previous games, possibly outdoors or perhaps back in the same field as the previous final game in Season 1, the red light green light field. But the button mechanism is the most intriguing part. A red button that turns green when pressed suggests some kind of timing element or a decision-making component to the final game. This could be an upgraded version of the classic Squid Game with electronic elements, or it could be an entirely new game that we haven't seen before, especially considering how much the director hates reusing previous material. What's also interesting is that we're only seeing one person's feet. In previous final games, we've seen multiple players competing directly against each other. This shot suggests the final game might be more individual focused, with each player having to make their own crucial decisions rather than directly competing against each other. So what do you think about the final games trailer? Did I miss anything? Subscribe or Jongdae will win Season 3.